In the US, speeding a bit might get you a whole ass police show. Choppers, 10 cruisers, live television, just to hand you a $400 ticket. Because in America, car chases aren't just about justice, they're a show. It's not about being efficient, it's about flexing power. Take a look. That's Edward Foster and Matthew Gamer, both with long rap sheets. They're out here stealing Rolexes, jacking a Lexus LC 500, and now they're on the run.
That was taken earlier today in a what they call an armed 29. That means somebody had a weapon of some kind or displayed a weapon of some kind as a threat to get the vehicle. The driver gave up the keys, and two people hopped in that vehicle and took off in it. The
cops first spotted the Lexus in Opelika, but the suspects managed to get away, though not for long. Around 2 p.m., the Lexus was seen again on a Florida highway and the chase was back on. These guys were flying down the highway, weaving onto the shoulder, and even crossing into oncoming traffic a couple of times. Honestly, at this point, it felt like just another police chase. You know, the kind YouTube is already flooded with. And personally, I usually just skip those because they're all the same. So let's fast forward past the boring parts. About 15 minutes into the chase, they exit the highway near Tamarack and suddenly slam on the brakes in front of a gray sedan.
Commercially slowing down, and it looks like we're going to have a bailout here. At least one person is getting out of the vehicle. You see somebody with a gun, with a rifle over there, trying to get somebody out of the vehicle. Again, we caution our viewers that that person was not going to let him in.
Wow.
They try to carjack the driver at gunpoint, but this guy's clearly got nerves of steel. Faced with an armed dude in his face, he just says no. Straight up refuses. The robbers had no choice but to jump back into the Lexus and keep running.
We have no control over what's going to be happening down there. We provide the pictures and the commentary. And Lynn, I'll toss it back to you here just for a second here.
Yeah, that was incredible. I don't think we've seen that ever, at least not in my experience here on television. That we saw the suspect in the passenger side get out of the car. Looks like he had some sort of weapon in his hand. Tried to get to the stranger in the car behind him. Couldn't get in the car and then jump back into this white Lexus that police say was stolen. Wow, sign of major desperation. And then goodness, that driver in that gray car.
Why did they even try to switch cars in the first place? Maybe they wanted to throw the cops off. Or maybe they didn't realize that a Lexus with a V8 engine drinks gas like there's no tomorrow. Anyway, they keep moving, and not too far down the road, they go for round 2, this time targeting a Tesla at an intersection. Matthew jumps out, points his gun right at the driver. Pretty convincing, right? So the driver gives up the car.
Get out of the vehicle here. They're threatening the person to get out of the vehicle to get the keys. They're forcing the car door open here. They've got the person to get that person out.
Finally, a fresh ride. Just pick up your buddy, shift into drive, and disappear over the horizon. It could have gone just like that. But apparently, Matthew had no idea how to put a Tesla into drive. He starts awkwardly reversing down the road while his partner Edward is desperately trying to figure out how to open the door to get in. Yeah, Matthew didn't know how to do that either. Realizing the whole thing's falling apart, Edward just ditches him and takes off on foot. He didn't get far though, the cops caught him soon after. As for Matthew, he finally gets the Tesla moving forward after accidentally bumping into a car behind him. The road's clear, though his buddy's gone. Time to escape. Except no, a cop in a pickup truck slams right into him.
Alluded there, we've seen now a police officer ram it with his truck. He's got his weapon drawn. He's telling the guy to get out of that vehicle, to stand down. We'll see what happens here, but we're going to stay on this picture as we believe the other suspect is now either being taken to, we believe he's being taken into custody, but we're going to stay in this picture, obviously.
Right, and if we could move that banner and see the police officer down to the left there. Thanks, Ralph. Demanding that this driver get out of the car. I guess you could call it a pit.
Surrounded by officers, Matthew takes a second to think and decides it's over. He lays down on the ground.
Car doors open, Lynn. He's getting out. He's on the ground. He's complying with police orders there to...
Literally seconds later, just as the cops think it's all wrapped up, Matthew jumps to his feet and bolts toward a nearby neighborhood. The cops are caught off guard as he scrambles over a fence and disappears between the houses.
Ralph's got a nice
he's in the yard
picture
there between the two houses there. We'll try to stay with him here. We have the police officers from multi-agencies here. He's now crossed over the roadway there.
The police helicopter stays on him, but Matthew doesn't even realize there's a canal up ahead. You'd think this was the end, but nope. He strips down to his underwear and dives right into the water. Lucky for him, and unlucky for us, there were no alligators in the canal that day. He makes it across and heads deeper into the
Taking off
neighborhood.
his shoes. Looks like socks
Yeah.
there, I'm not sure. Swimming to the other side of the canal.
Yeah, there's a police helicopter right above telling the agents where all the officers where he is. They can see him right now. The guy's telling them, where are you going to go? What are you going to do there?
There you can
They're
see him.
sending officers to the other side of the street here, to the other block. He's now, let's see where he's right, well, he's in between two houses there, so we're just going to hang right here. He's got to come out one side or the other.
Well, and you hope to God that the people in these homes either are not home and their doors are locked. I mean, just the brazen crimes that we saw happen in the last 20 minutes by these two
There he is.
suspects.
All right, he's now moved in between these two homes. He's running across the street right here. Yeah, as you said before, he shedded his jacket and he's just in the neighborhood. I don't know if he's familiar with this
running in
area and he's
socks.
going home or trying to get home. That does happen sometimes in these cases where the suspect or the person
like he's
that's
getting
being
tired.
pursued by police just tries to get home. He's getting winded. Adrenaline is probably pretty much drained out of him right now, so he's going to slow down here very shortly. But again, the police helicopter is above and telling the officers where he is, giving them an exact description, reading off a map of is exactly where this guy is. So we're going to put our...
Exhausted and out of options, he tries to steal another car parked in a driveway, but nope, the car's locked. So what does he do? He runs straight into an open gate and straight into the house. Gisela Taveras, the woman who lives there, said Matthew burst into her kitchen, completely out of breath, opened her fridge, and drank her orange juice like he owned the place. Within minutes, a SWAT team had surrounded the house. This time, Matthew surrendered.
Doors opening.
Len, front door.
Yep. Let's watch.
Front door, he's coming. Somebody's coming out. This is him. That's the
Yeah.
guy in the red shorts right there. Here, let me double it up here.
He's got his
Hang on.
hands up.
There you go.
Took his shirt off, turning around, complying with police seemingly.
All right.
Out in his...
Or was that his next move? Nah, they got him for real this time.
To the ground here. Joey, got to go forward. Here we go. Thank you, Joe. Excellent job, Joe. All right, they've
Carrying
got their
him.
man. Not taking any chances. Anytime I guess you point a gun at anybody, you've got to be really super careful with what's going on. They have him. They're going to get his hands cuffed here. Place him in custody.
He was first taken to the hospital, then straight to the Broward County Jail in Fort Lauderdale. He was sentenced to 120 months for armed robbery and carjacking. Lucky for him, the sentences are running concurrently, meaning he's doing 10 years total, not 20. On top of that, he got another 84 months for lesser charges, like possession of a firearm, fleeing the police, and reckless driving. But these sentences are consecutive, which means he's facing at least 17 years. That's 204 months behind bars. He won't get out until he's 39. He'll spend most of his youth locked up, and honestly, I hope he serves every minute.